Hey, it's Nikachu, and today we are going to look at the Prophecy Club try to argue that Magic the Gathering is evil. And they're going to need to because they found Satanism in the Pokemon trading card game. Pokemon and Magic the Gathering, what do they have to do with each other? Well, you see, the Pokemon trading card game was made by none other than Wizards of the Coast, and Wizards of the Coast made Magic the Gathering. So if the company that's making this satanic game is also making Pokemon, well, that means all of Pokemon is evil. Does that sound outlandish? Well, let's just hear what this guy has to say.
But the one thing I've noticed about him right off, this is Pikachu, one thing I noticed about him right off was his tail. It's a lightning bolt, and it's a satanic Z. Now, just by looking at him alone is not enough to really be able to say, okay, yeah, that's bad, or that's satanic. What we first need to do is we need to look at the actual production of these things. And the first thing we need to do is we need to look at who actually produced the trading card game that has captured the minds and the imaginations of our children. Now, it doesn't make any difference what I say, it's what their own material says, because their own material will give them away. Okay? So I'm going to read to you, here's a direct quote from the web pages of the producer of this game. Listen to this. The Pokemon trading card game is a new collectible card game that is made and distributed by Wizards of the Coast. What is a wizard? Male practitioner of black magic. Wizards of the Coast, the same company that made the best-selling game Magic the Gathering.
First off, this entire argument hinges on Wizards of the Coast inventing Pokemon, but they only produced the trading card game. Pokemon was originally released as a video game produced by Game Freak.
Magic the Gathering is a heavily occult-laced trading card game which has been very popular in the 90s. So let's look at Magic the Gathering, because this is the same company that puts out Pokemon. So let's see where they're coming from. Now, from seeing the symbols, your actual discernment should now begin to be sharpened. How many see a circle? How many see a pentagram? Yeah. If you look, there it is. See that? Magic the Gathering.
What's sad is this guy's trying so hard, and he didn't even pick off any of the low-hanging fruit. What about the pentagram on Unholy Strength? Or the pentagrams on the forehead and chest of the demon on Demonic Tutor? It's a good thing he didn't see Demonic Tutor, otherwise he probably would have a stroke.
This is a role-playing game. Now, parents, in case you don't know what that is, that means that your child actually becomes a character in the game, actually becomes a part of the game. And that's what makes it exciting, is there's not many games out there that they can actually become a part of. They can play it, but they don't actually become a part of it. In this particular game, they actually do become a character in the game. And remember, it said that it's an occult game. One of the dangers of this thing is, being a role-playing game, is that it's played with the mind. How many know that the mind is a very fragile thing? And what happens is, in these role-playing games, I'm going to use the example of Dungeons and Dragons because TSR is the one that puts out all their material. The danger of Dungeons and Dragons, or any kind of role-playing game like this, is that it's played with the mind, and when played with the mind begins to lose that fine line with what's real and what's fantasy.
I think this guy has lost the fine line between what's real and fantasy.
And the more you get into the fantasy world, the more it seems real, and all of a sudden now you don't know what's real and what's not. So let's go back to Magic the Gathering. Here's one of the cards. Yeah, isn't he cute? This is Cabal Ghoul. Now, you notice that there's counters up here. In other words, this stands for 2 points. And it says Cabal Ghoul. Now, in case you don't know what a ghoul is, it's a dead, rotting, decaying thing that's been in the ground and magically summoned back to life. So you have a walking dead thing. And that's what a ghoul is. And in this particular thing, it says, at the end of each turn, put a 1+1 counter on Cabal Ghoul for each other creature that died during the turn and was not regenerated. In other words, you have cards that'll actually keep your character alive for a certain amount of time. Here's another interesting card, because it's called the All Hallows Eve card. Again, this is all in Magic. Magic the Gathering. By the way, there was a news clip that I read about 2 weeks ago that spoke of a young boy in Maine. I don't remember what the town was, but it was in Maine. And he came home one day and asked his mother about Magic the Gathering, and said that the teacher had decided to use Magic the Gathering, this card game, as a new and exciting way to teach mathematics in school, in their class. And they even formed what was called a magic club, and that all the kids were part of this magic club. Well, the mother said, well, you're not going to become a part of that. You're not going to be in that. But one of the kids had given him one of the cards, and that card he showed to his mother, and that card was called Necromancer. And on that card, it showed spiritual beings actually being risen up out of the ground, out of their grave. And then he asked his mother, what does summon mean? And she said, why do you ask that? And she said, he told her, he said, because all the kids on recess go outside on the school grounds, pick up huge sticks, wave them in the air, and say, spirits, enter me. True.
Of course this is true. This is called kids using their imagination. This happens every single day. This guy makes it look like using our imagination is evil. However, this guy has plenty of imagination to find satanic messaging in what's an innocent fantasy role-playing game.
This is All Hallows Eve. Again, 2 points symbolized by 2 skulls. Here's your demonic black cat. I guess it's a black cat. I've never seen anything look like that. There's your demon in the middle. Jack-o'-lantern, full moon, and it says this card is called sorcery. Sorcery comes from the Greek word pharmakeia. It's where we get the word pharmaceutical. In occultism, it's witchcraft through drugs, sorcery. And it says put 2 counters on this card, remove a counter during your upkeep, and when you remove the last counter from All Hallows Eve, all players take all creatures from their graveyards and put them directly into play. Treat these creatures as though they were just summoned. You choose what order they come into play. Remember that, again, this is a role-playing game. And these are collectible cards. And these are cards that one day your child may come home with, or may know of a student that has given him some of these cards. Now you will know what they are. So let's go back to Pokemon, because now we've already established that the same company that puts out that game and puts out Dungeons and Dragons puts out cute little Pokemon. Isn't that interesting?
What's sad is he looks exactly like someone who would play these games. If I go to my local game store, this is exactly who I see. For all we know, everything on the table is his own personal collection. Man, you have to relax, because as you know, the mind is a very fragile thing, and if you're not careful, you might lose that fine line between what's real and what's fantasy. Well, that's my video for today. What do you think of this guy's arguments? Is Wizards of the Coast a satanic cult organization trying to enslave our children with Pokemon cards? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash like for summoning demons with sorceries, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, or Satanic Pikachu is gonna steal your soul.